What's good, everybody? Yeah, I can tell it's no sound coming out of that, but hang tight. Be right with it. I'm not going to let that run for too long anyway. What's good, everybody? Mike is in the building. Welcome to another Freestyle Sunday. It's been a long past couple of days. I'd say week, to say the least. I know the audio wasn't playing on that clip, but it's all good. I'm on it. I didn't want to take too much time to start the stream. So here we are, guys. Yeah, man, I am glad to be back in New York. Happy Easter to every single person that's tuned in. Appreciate you coming through, saying what's up, showing some love. Today, since it's Easter, we're going to be doing things a little bit different, only because a lot of people are spending Easter with their family, spending time with their family. So no guests tonight. So we kind of figured it'd be a great opportunity to kind of recap the whole trip and how it went in Texas, what I enjoyed, meeting Marquez and other really big riders that I thought that were pretty interesting, to say the least, that we could talk about, maybe even share the experience. I have a ton of videos coming out just to kind of talk about the overall experience. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was an experience that I would recommend to anyone to get to experience if you get the opportunity, but it's something else, really. Like I was telling is that you could have went to this event and watched the MotoGP race with your eyes closed just to enjoy that alone. But we'll dive into that shortly, guys. But for now, we're going to do what we do best, which is pretty much meet and greet everybody that's tuned in and say what's up to everybody. As you guys know, we do that here on the stream. So what's good with everybody, man? How are you enjoying your Easter, and how has it been in the past couple of days? Definitely chime in the chat. I will be answering all questions. If you guys have any questions regarding MotoGP, what it's like, what was the experience like for this opportunity, I'm more than happy to kind of answer those. So today is more of a Q&A and just overall talking about the experience itself. So yeah, let's get to it, man. All right, we'll do what we do best and just really highlight everybody and say what's up, man. And of course, we have Life with Anna be in the building. Usual suspect. I am a little bit tired. I don't know if it's a jet lag or anything like that. By the way, very cool. I'll show you guys some of these bands here. These were all like let's see, bands from exclusive events that I went to. Really cool stuff. Let's see what we got here. We have Governor D Nice is in the building. What's good, everyone? Can't stay all night. Got family over. Salute, Mike. Yep, I know that. This is why we're going to make this stream nice and short and sweet. I just want to kind of go through it a little bit with you guys and kind of just chat up a little bit. We have Power Moto. What's up, Mike? I see you hanging with stars. Yeah, man, lots of people, lots of big names was out there, and I really got a big opportunity to kind of hang out with people and network and stuff like that. It made a huge difference overall. We do have Tazon Moto. Good evening, Moto Familia. What's good? Let's see what we got. There usually more and more people shows up every now and then. Like hearing breathing more. All right, cool. That's about the intro. Yes, sir. I did have for some reason that it wasn't playing the audio, and I didn't want to go through it and kind of troubleshoot it. I'm super exhausted, and I kind of fought myself about doing this stream, and I'm like, again, I am not going to miss a week without chiming in and just basically touching base with you guys. And I know everybody's digging a lot the stream, what we're doing, and the interviews. By the way, heads up, there will be a lot of people coming through. We have Jason Britton, you probably know the name, big stunt rider. A couple of other big names will be coming on the stream, just kind of talk motorcycles and their journey. So I've been working on a lot of those, a lot of people that you guys are going to find very interesting to hear out their story and their growth. So that's something that's really cool. Well, I thought no audio on the intro was on purpose. We can hear you tinkering in the background. Yeah, I was tinkering for sure. Still prepping a lot of files and everything else, so it's all good. Let's see what we got. We have S. Kane, what up? Let's see what else we have. We have that guy Kels in the building. What up, peoples? What's good, sir? You would have totally enjoyed this week of MotoGP. Let's see what I got. Elijah Clark's in the building. He's also out here in New York as well. Thanks for sharing their experience with us. Yeah, guys, I posted a ton of stories on my Instagram. As you can see, my voice is a little coarse or a little beat already from just all the excitement and yelling and everything else. What else we got? We got Dragon Cheese in the building. So he had a great time there. You hooked up with Fastlane D. Yeah, Fastlane D was one of the highlight of the trip for me. It was very exciting to meet him, and he was excited to meet me. So it was just like us yelling around at each other. So that was a really fun experience. He's a great guy. It was great to interview him. It was even better to meet up with him and chat up. And we kind of split up throughout the events because I had different passes and he had different access. So it was really, really cool. But there'll be a lot more content coming between him and I, and we'll be working together and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So we have Sazon saying, been following Jason for decades, amazing writer. Yeah, man, a lot of people has been hitting me up to be on the stream, wanting to be interviewed and kind of be part of the live stream. So I think we have something special going on with the stream. So definitely, if you're new to the channel, you want to subscribe. And if you want to see someone specific, you want to see us have a conversation with somebody specifically, definitely don't hesitate to drop it in the comment section. Other people are seeing it. We also have a Real Rock representative that's going to be on here, preferably some major key players out of Ducati's probably going to be interviewed as well. So we have a lot of big people that you might want to know about that's going to be on the stream, so that's pretty cool. I was in my own MotoGP track day. Yeah, man, I saw you posted a couple of track days going on, so that's always lit. So that's also very, very interesting to say the least, man. So what's going on with you guys, man? What's new? What's been going on? It's just so much has been happening at the very same time regarding the past few weeks. As you guys know, I was fortunate enough to get invited out there by Motivation USA. A lot of it was taken care of by them, and these guys have been extremely amazing to me and my wife. And not only that was really dope regarding the whole setup of going there for MotoGP. They were even able to sponsor the entire thing. Having bikes, having cars, and having access to pretty much everything, which was something that's not very common. And I'm truly grateful for that. And these guys did not have to go out of their way to kind of do that. And they did. We managed to produce a lot of content, a lot of very interesting interviews I've done. We did a lot of background videos of the company and the people that works there. So a lot of really interesting comments going to be coming out of that time frame. So keep your eyes peeled, guys. Very, very excited to kind of talk about all of those things. I guess we could talk about some of the highlights, man. You guys want to know any of the highlights? Feel free to hit me up. Let me know. I had some videos queued up, but I'm going to play them a little bit differently. only because there was very, very little time to kind of get everything going. But I want you guys to see some of the really cool aspect of visiting Austin, guys. I got to ride a bunch of bikes, by the way. I will be doing long-term reviews of the FZ09, the R7. Oh, that is an interesting bike. And let's just say I wasn't very thrilled about the R7 motorcycle, guys. Would I recommend this bike to someone? It's a whole different story, man. I don't know. I'll show you guys my favorite bike that I rode. In a second here. I'll show you guys my favorite bike that I rode. How do you call it? While I was out there in Austin. It's probably not going to play the sound. And that's okay. Because I am going to be talking over the video as I'm playing it. But one of the most fun bike that I rode over there would definitely have to be the Triumph Speed Triple. Actually, not Speed Triple, Street Triple. That bike was absolutely amazing. Would I recommend that bike to someone? Absolutely. The thing is a stunner, man. It rode really nicely. Again, what's tough about that bike, in my opinion, is the fact that my judgment on it might be a little bit different, only because I rode a bike that was tuned as quick shifter, and that bike is basically ready for action at all times. So it's not like your everyday bike you would probably just get out the box, but it was absolutely, absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to play that for you guys real quick.
This bike is a definition of fun, 100%. Whoa. Holy shit.
Yo, this freaking Triumph Speed Triple climbs the rev range ridiculously, man. I'm telling you, oh my God. Yo, this bike was nasty, man. Absolutely. I know that I rode some big bikes while I was there, but this bike really stood out of everything that I rode, and it's it was nasty. The way it climbed the rev range, guys, for it to get up to speed, and the way the quick shifter and the explosion when you downshift, freaking stunning bike. And to say that this bike was an underdog to people, it is. I would highly recommend anybody, if you don't have a huge budget, you can't afford a very expensive motorcycle, you have maybe $7 grand, that Triumph Street Triple, really, really beautiful bike. So just going to jump back here to the chat to see if you guys have any question regarding any of the stream. Again, this one's kind of a wild card, guys, just jumping in and just chatting with you guys. I didn't want to miss it. So not too much preparation. So it's a lot of conversation between us all. Let's see what, let's see here. Somebody does have a question. Let's pull this up. Sazlon Moto mentioned, I do have a question. Since you're up north, what do you do in the winter months as far as motovlog go? How to get around the hump? Some people hang up their gloves and want to hear. I want to hear your perspective. For me, I don't really ride much, really, when it gets cold, only because some of the bikes that I do own, they're pretty powerful. Not that you couldn't ride them in those seasons, but I wouldn't recommend riding a Street Fighter V4 in poor weather. What I do to keep myself occupied, though, I do a lot of work, promotional and marketing work with motivation. So I'm pretty much producing a lot of content. Fortunate enough to be able to have the bikes in my garage and still be able to produce content and stay busy. And more importantly, I started doing the live stream, which is kind of hanging out with you guys every Sunday. So that helps. And I'm planning to kind of structure my channel a little bit better. So even throughout the winter, I will either be writing or I'll be posting content that I have pre-prep for this time of the season. But more importantly, what I'm planning to do is really have a beater bike. I've been looking for one. It's not a great market to buy any kind of motorcycle at the moment. They're all very, very expensive. So right now, that's kind of on the shelf for now. I'm still searching, and I have my name on a couple of lists. If I could get those bikes, that'll be great. It'll be perfect to ride around the winter and practice certain maneuverable moves that I really want to be really good at, by the way. All right, S1000RR Mia, keep up the great work. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Everything helps. Big deal. Again, if you guys are tuned in, you wanna show love to the channel, always subscribe and hit the thumbs up. Definitely helps. We have Black Moses in the building, guys. This guy's a true gentleman. He was at MotoGP in the paddocks, just really grinding it out with everyone. I have no idea how he managed to do it. He flew in, I think, a day prior to the event and still managed to kind of roll with Tyson and still got into the paddocks and just handshook with everybody and really just mob around with some of the best in the game. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't seen his stream where we did our conversation, you definitely want to check it out. And if you don't know who Black Moses is, you definitely need to know, because I'm telling you now, during the entire MotoGP event, this guy was walking around as big as a star as the GP riders. And he was walking amongst the biggest names in the game, and he was just as big as everybody else. So that was really, really cool. And thank you, sir, for that photo. I was trying to catch you for a long time for that picture, and I'm like, oh my God, I finally got it. So that was extremely awesome. Let's see what we got here. Just gonna keep pulling people up. Let's see. That guy kills Sazomoto. I would assume he does these kind of interviews, videos, and maybe old videos editing. Yeah, I do a lot of some of that stuff in this case, but I am getting a smaller bike to ride locally through my neighborhood and enjoy myself. So I might be doing a little bit of that stuff in Life with Anna B. Me doing 130 on on that Triumph. That Triumph was really, really cool. I also rode FZ09 R7. The bike that I really like also was the Aprilia RS 660. That bike is clean. If you have the budget, an additional $2,500, don't buy the R7. Buy the Aprilia RS 660. That bike is a way better bike. And I'll kind of touch base on that lightly as to why I think it is. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, man, great to see you in Austin. Hope you had a great time. I had an amazing time, man. You know what? I thought that was really cool, guys. Since Black Moses is in the building and he's very good friends with the CEO of Ducati North America, one thing I thought that was amazing, and it goes in all paths. Even with Black Moses, you saw him. He was pretty much with everyone. Also, he was with the elites. Meaning we're talking about the CEO of Ducati North America. This guy was actually serving food in a conveyor belt in the Ducati booth. So no one's too big for anything. It was amazing to see some of that stuff and just share this experience. It's really, really dope, because you wouldn't think somebody of that caliber, to what they do, where they've come as far as they come in life, that they are doing these things. So that means they're really passionate about the community, they're passionate about the brand, and they really want to connect with the people. So GP was just not all about race to me. There was just so much more, guys. And I thought it was absolutely amazing. Let's see here. Still have a couple more. Yeah, man. Yep, absolutely appreciate you as well. Really, really dope. Power Motor mentioned Street Fighter, no joke. Mike, they're gonna learn that rocket. Yeah, man, that bike is not ideal for bad weather, in my opinion. You want to ride that bike when it's a really good day out and you have a lot of grip, because it's just a lot, really. In my personal opinion, I always call the Street Fighter my flex bike, because it's just a lot. Unless you're doing track, you're doing certain things with these motorcycles, you're not gonna squeeze out of it, guys. So Sazamoto also mentioned it, you do a ton of work behind the scenes. That's pretty dope. Thank you for answering that. I'm trying to get ideas from other moto vloggers and kind of come up with my own ideas for my channel. So yeah, so it's really tough to kind of structure your channel from someone else. Anybody that's been in this industry, or at least in moto vlogging or doing content, will tell you that initially they find someone that they're very passionate about, that they like the kind of work that they do, and they try to do an initial layout, and then they go to making their own. But I can tell you one thing that's 100%: nobody's path is the same. Everyone's path is extremely unique, very different. It's gonna be hard to find a beat that you think that's cool and you're gonna follow, because it's just a tough call. It's just a really, really tough call. You're just gonna have to go out there and roll the dice. Oh, let me see here. You also, oh, so another big shout out to Michael Griffin. He's an NFL player. He actually gave me access to his motorcycle fleet, and I rode his Let me see. I'm gonna pull this up. I had a really great time riding this bike. Also, it's actually the what would you say this was? It was the Hypermotard RVE. Really, really nice bike, clean. And again, when you ride these bikes, it's very different because they are not like everyone's bike. They are tuned. These bikes are running like optimal. You know, nice tune, nice exhaust, and they're very lightweight. And even my Hypermotard, I felt like, oh my God, what's going on? My Hyper does not feel like this Hyper. I'll just kind of pull this up here just so you guys could see this Hyper. Again, I'm going to be rocking some of these without sound just so you can kind of see. And immediately, that same night that I was hanging out with the team at Motivation, guys, these guys were awesome. I'm just kind of pull this up here. Again, guys, I was out there in Texas for a very long time. I came home not too long ago, so that took a lot. So let's see here. This is the Hyper, really. Yeah, this is the RVE. Beautiful bike. Super lightweight. It's just, it sounds absolutely amazing. And, I mean, this bike, it's nothing like mine. It's almost like mine is not as detuned. I have an air filter. I have an exhaust. After riding this Hypermotard by Michael Griffin, I'm gonna get mine tuned and kind of. And the other thing too, I feel like I've been neglecting my Hyper a little bit since I've been riding all the other bikes and enjoying myself. And maybe I'm just not putting enough work in it for me to kind of realize the potential of this bike. But definitely a beautiful bike. The roads. The other thing too, guys. The roads out there in Texas are really, really nice. Very clean, very wide open. And the other thing is, everybody I've met up with to ride, and I'm like, yo, you guys want to cruise? You want to have a good time? Just chill? There's like, yeah, if you want to go triple digits, pretty much every single one of my videos, if you see that I'm peeling off with anybody, it's pretty much all triple digits because all of the roads are pretty much super intense and they are going. So I'll show you guys here. I actually enjoy riding this bike a lot. This was the FZ09. The minute I jumped on this bike and I realized there's no mirror on it, and it's just like, it's a cool bike. If you're gonna be using this as a daily, perfectly fine, lots of power, lots of torque. As soon as you hit 115 miles an hour, maybe 110, it plateaus quite a bit. Again, I have all these vlogs coming out, so much content being produced, and I decided to take a couple of days off and just really just kind of recoup a little bit. Just to kind of recoup a little bit before diving into creating content, because I don't want to just come from GP pretty exhausted and then start cutting out videos and stuff like that. It was really cool. And I kept all of these as memorabilia. I don't know if you guys saw, there's been a Red Bull party. These are all VIP events and stuff like that. And kind of kept them all on there. So really, really cool. And the opportunity from Motivation is something that I'll never forget, guys. They managed to get me some of these back almost like backstage passes, where I can actually access these events on the back end, which is how I ended up meeting Marc Marquez. So right in that section above the paddocks, this is the VIP where people that has like the very high-end passes, you get to eat, you have drinks, and you watch the race and stuff like that. And right below that are the actual paddocks, which is something that's absolutely stunning. While you on top, you're eating, you have drinks or whatever, liquor or whatever it is you want to have, it's there. Everyone is super pleasant. You can look right over, you'll see the GP bikes pulling out, or the Moto 2, Moto 3 bikes coming out. And it sounds so amazing. So amazing. I can't even explain this feeling, because being there and seeing it, it's an experience I can't even really kind of explain to you guys. I'm trying my best to kind of convey what it was like to be there and kind of talk with people and shake people's hands. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And it's not even just about the motorcycles, but I'm going a bit on a tangent. But right after that, you can actually go downstairs. And if you have a specific pass, there's some neck passes that you can go to the bottom where the paddocks open up, where the GP bikes go in, which nobody really can go in there. But of course, Black Moses is in there, because for some reason, he has access to anything and everything. Even all my passes couldn't get me inside of those. But I was fortunate. I get to go to the area where they do press briefing and stuff like that. All the racers come. It's like an exclusive thing where they kind of decompress and have food and things like that. And a lot of people are standing around and waiting for the racers to come out and taking photos, which I've gotten some pictures of them in that sense, and I got some videos of them as well. And then people were just telling me, oh, you can just come in. And I had like the pass. I went in. Marquez was doing his debriefing, talking with people. And he was like, hey, you want to take a photo? So we ended up like taking a picture while he was in his actual race suit, which was freaking phenomenal. Very cool, very chill guy. And he actually posed. It was just like really, really surreal. Even the guys at Motivation were like, how the hell did you get a photo with Marc Marquez? We've been going to GP years and years through through Coda, and it never happened. And everybody was like, what the hell is going on? So the running gag has been that every time they saw me when I went to the Motivation shop, and we were just like chopping it up, talking and shooting, they're like, so we heard Mike was helping Marc Marquez put his boots on and stuff like that. So every time we met up for lunch. She was like, well, did you help him zip up his race suit? So they're building like this myth and this like funny joke all over. We overheard you were polishing the helmet before he actually raced that day. So it was hilarious. All of the guys have great personalities, great sense of humor. What was great about meeting that team is that even though I've been working with Motivation for years and years, I've never met a single one of those guys. We've talked on the phone, exchanged emails, we've done business, exchanged checks and everything. Never met them. The minute I walked into the space, it was like old friends that went to school together, and then we went separate ways. Everybody grew up, and we came back, and it was just like meeting old friends. It was amazing. The minute we walk in, it was like, hey man, we got the Super Duke. You need to try this bike. They were excited to just show me their stuff. I was excited just to meet them. Even one of the days of being at Motivation, I'm going to pull up this clip, which I thought was really cool. Even one of the days that I was at Motivation, they was like, hey, don't you want to go to downtown Austin and hang out and see the sights? I'm like, I'm good. This is more than enough for me. I'm more than happy to kind of chill and hang out with people. I actually dressed down just like, with jeans, a t-shirt, and I wanted to work in their inventory room just to kind of do what they do and stuff, and it was really cool. Shout out to Peter and Peter and Andrew. They allowed me to work in their stock room and kind of chill with them. We had food and played music, so it was more than just vacation. It was just like hanging out with old friends, so that was really dope. I'll just kind of play this real quick. I'm looking at this now, and I'm talking about it, and it's just making me feel kind of funny, because I'm like, oh my god, that was so cool. Just kind of being able to hang out with them in the actual space. But let me just kind of show you a quick little setup here of their working spot, man. Really, really cool. I am super, super grateful for this opportunity. I know a lot of people are probably looking at it, oh man, this guy got lucky. And I put in a lot of work for a lot of years, and for this opportunity to come up, don't think I'm unappreciative of it. I'm totally appreciative of it. I've actually been invited back to ride the track, which I will be going. But let me kind of play this, just kind of give you guys a general idea of what their shop looks like. Very professional, very clean. Every single one of the people that's part of that group are very passionate about the whole shop. So take a quick look. So they've got a ton of bikes there, guys. And again, what was beautiful about the whole thing, I had access to pretty much every single one of those bikes as if they were mine. They have a personal working area. That's what you're looking at here, where you could bring your own bike if you work there. You could work on it and not have to worry about going to a shop. So really, really cool. They have a very cool family vibes about the whole team. And yeah, tons of posters, tons of signed posters, ton of SE Project pieces all over, memorabilias, and oh, they even have a video game section where they just play MotoGP on a giant screen. I mean, it's just a lot, man. So much so that it was cool. But I have to say, my most proudest moment of MotoGP, which I don't think a lot of people would probably think that I would think it's cool, was before the race started. They did the national anthem. Man, I'm telling you, I got a little teary when they did the national anthem. I've been to football games, I've been to basketball games, I've been to baseball games, and it's not the same, man. It is not the same. When they did the national anthem, man, yo, I had my glasses on and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm holding it. I'm like looking up. I'm like, oh, it's gonna come out. Yo, it was so beautiful. It was such a moment seeing every single walk of life. You have the funny thing is, I'm talking about it right now. I could feel it a little bit. Like I feel like that same feeling. We have all walks of life: Asians, white, blacks, old people, younger people, little kids. Everyone stood up with their hand on their chest. Yo, it was so beautiful. That was one of the best part of that event to me. Just seeing that, I was like, wow. It was unbelievable. Just that one part, man, where she was singing the national anthem. I was like, that's crazy. That was most memorable moment for me seeing that. And it was something very special, very unique. And I don't know if I would say I'm a super patriot or anything like that, but this moment, they got me for sure. They got me in the field. So that was pretty dope. I've spoken quite a bit. I'm going to pull up a couple more comments in between this, and then we'll just keep going and kind of explain a few more things about the overall event. Let me see here. Yeah, man, it's just so much, man. And it's like, and so many more opportunities came from this, by the way, just kind of networking and talking with a lot more people and just kind of overall just seeing everybody. Let's see what we got here. Learn now. It's good, bro. Let's see. There's a lot of comments, so I'm just kind of filtering through as many as I can. Toolbox. Oh, Dragon Chi mentioned here he needs a toolbox. Yeah, man. So if you go on the Motivation website, I have everything linked in my streams or all my videos. I do have a sponsored link by them, Beta Tools. Pretty much, I know a lot of people ask about tools. Every single paddock in MotoGP is all Beta Tools, and which is what I use, and they're a sponsor of the channel as well. Everything is Beta Tools. All the branding, all the logo. If you watch any of the streams, it's all Beta Tools all across. Every single paddock is what they use on every single one of those $1 million plus motorcycles, man. 5up mentioned here, I'm so happy you got to do this, Mike. Dude, it was an experience, man. Let me see here. It's a really nice hand too. Life with 9B mentioned I got a really nice hand. Yeah, my arms are so dark and my face got really, really dark in my chest. And the rest of my body looks really light, so it's kind of funny. Knees Ho Knee mentioned here, what's up? How you doing? Joey Calabrese, yo, Mike, quick question. How was meeting Marquez? Must have been really, really dope. Yeah, man, meeting, sorry. I kind of hit the wrong button there, sorry. Meeting Marquez was really, really dope, man. Let's see here. Yeah, meeting Marquez was really, really dope. Very, very laid back guys, very chill. Very all smiles. Is a lot smaller than I expected. And then again, all of the MotoGP riders, none of them are really big. So I'm assuming due to their size, for the speed, for racing really fast, none of them are really that big. I'd say a lot of them probably like 5'7". Probably I'd say my size, roughly, maybe. Oh, of course, we got Fastlane D's in the building, man. I was just talking about you a little bit earlier, man. It was such a beautiful moment, just meeting you, man. I felt so happy inside, just giving you a hug, man. It was so cool, man. So nice. It was just, you know what I'm saying? You were excited to see me. I was excited to see you. It was surreal. It was just, to me, meeting Fastlane D was just as exciting as standing next to Marquez or seeing some of the guys, some of the racers. It was just beautiful. All of it was so cool. Great people, great vibes. It was really cool. Also, I met a slew of people that actually watches the channel, which I was pretty mind blown because my channel's been a little dormant for a bit, and we're just kind of really kicking things off. So that was really, really dope. And the energy level, I don't know, man. I was totally matching Fastlane D's energy level, man. Really, really cool stuff. That was definitely one of the highlights for me, which we could have done so much more, but it was just so many events happening. But I'm going to cut back to the race. I was telling you guys, a lot of people get VIP passes and they watch the race from up top and they have drinks and stuff like this. And I've watched the race from all angles. Turn 1 is absolutely a dream, okay? So we're coming straight from the paddock. That's the straightaway. Everybody's just, oh my God, I'm freaking out right now. I'm freaking out right now. Oh my God. So they're going out the paddock. That's a straight, right? They do their full circle. They're through the straight, they're going through all the gears and stuff like that. Turn 1 elevates almost as a building height, really, really high. And it's like, and going to turn 1, you know what? They're braking at the right braking point or whatever. And then all you hear was just an explosion. Pop, 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 pop. They just like, the bike just decelling. And then they're just like down to the floor. Oh my God, right? So we're going from straight away, super fast, who knows, probably like 200 miles an hour, up turn 1, right? Down to the lean, and you hear all the decel of the bikes. Oh my freaking God, right? Right from there, they're going straight back down, and you're hitting to the S's. Nuts. And they're riding so fast right next to each other. And there's no room for error, for nothing at all. And I am a Ducati boy. I love Ducati. But I'm going to tell you guys now, freaking KTM in tandem, the GP bikes, KTM sounds so nasty. So nasty. They sounded so good, so freaking good. I can't even begin to explain, but they sounded really, really good. And I think what's going to happen, I spoke to a good buddy of mine, which 5 Up, he's been on the stream also. His thought is that KTM is going to take some of this tech eventually and make a super bike. They're going to come back to the super bike market. And I think he might be right, because all of the money they're spending on GP. And initially when KTM started, they weren't, polling. They were like riding in the back. Now these guys are just up there. They're riding hard. They have great bikes. That tech is definitely going to trickle down. I think the Super Duke has its own market, but they need that super bike. So I think we will be seeing that. And I think Steve is absolutely right about seeing that. Let's see here. Sorry. Let's see what else we got. Not Fastlane D, of course, back. I agree, boy. You're the man for real. Can't wait to link up again. Love the energy. Dude, it was wild, man. It was really exciting, really amazing just to meet you and give you a hug, for real. Yo, he tried to shake my hand. I'm like, man, you got to give me a hug, dude. I just love seeing him. He's doing well. I love seeing other people doing well. His energy is great. Vibe is great. I rather share and bask in that, man, and share that with you. So let's see what we got here. Sazamoto Dylan, how's that S1000? I know you loved it, Fastlane D. Yeah, man, he had some mic issue. I saw his latest video, of course, but you know he's gonna keep dropping that heat. So really, really dope. So back to GP and just kind of talking about it overall. I was there for maybe way longer than I needed to be out in Texas. I ended up meeting up with, how do you call him? Yammy Noob. he invited me out to the studio, but I just didn't get a chance. There was just so much going on. But next time I am in Texas, you will be seeing content with me and Yamanube and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. I think I ended up having access to some areas that he didn't, so we ended up splitting up. And I think he's going to be working on that at least for the next up. So that's a really dope thing. Another big shout I gotta say to Fernando. Okay, he doesn't work for motivation, but he is a guy that's super passionate about motorcycles, and he hangs out at the shop all the time. And this guy took an entire day. We had like exclusive passes before the race, so we did like the preliminaries where everyone was test riding their bikes. The GP bikes was going around the circuit, the Moto2, Moto3 guys, and these guys have ton of memorabilias where he got signed by some of the biggest racers, Rossi, Marquez. He has so many things. He has race suits, everything. So he took that day and we drove down to downtown Austin, and he was like, don't worry, I got you. You're going to take care of business and stuff like that. Picked me up early in the morning. I basically, from little sleep that I get every night, by the way, it was a party every single night. And every morning I would wake up, have breakfast, jump to motivation, because I had my hotel really close to them, so I can quickly go to the shop and just work on content, or at least start producing more work. And a couple of hours showed up. They had a big meeting with the Rizoma guys, which was absolutely amazing. We talked about the Street Fighter. I gave them some feedback about some of the parts that we like and stuff like that. That was a really, really cool meeting. Fabrizio, which he is the CEO of Rizoma, he was in a meeting with some of the guys with motivation, stuff like that, and while I was shooting content, and of course they introduced me. From there we kind of just chatted up a little bit. We ended up going downtown Austin together. We rode together. And it's a really, really dope Jeep, man. It was so fire. And we ended up going down to Coda, and we went all around, and he kind of showed me some of the back end stuff, going down to the paddock scene, some of the race bikes, some of the stuff being prepped. It was beyond just a race, the exclusivity that I had. I have so much content, so much behind the scene video, that in the end I ended up doing this small documentary of him. Just wanted to show him the appreciation, because he says he's an honorary team member of Motivation, which I thought that was really beautiful for seeing somebody that's really passionate about motorcycles. He doesn't do it for money. He has his own profession, but he spent he's able to work remotely, and he was able to kind of just hang out with everybody, come stay in the shop and come and hang out, and just really went out of his way. He didn't have to even do that. Even when I went to go buy like merch and stuff like that, he was like, hey, this is Mike, he's positioning me as this huge deal. He watched my channel, but to me, I think he's a huge deal. You know what I mean? Yes, I do content, that's fine, but I just thought, the way this guy was super passionate and really loved motorcycles. He's worked on his own project. By the way, the Superleggera you're seeing on my channel, it's his. That Superleggera originally belonged to Tom Cruise. He managed to get his hand on this bike. He made it a full-on race bike. He got all the GP parts on there, carbon wheels, ceramic brakes on there. This bike must be worth $250 million. But that's his motorcycle. He has a couple of other pieces that he has, but really, really cool guy, very down to earth. If you were to meet this guy, you bump heads with him down the street, you would never think that, he lives a certain lifestyle where he is able to kind of have all these really nice things. But that's one of the beauty of this, in my opinion, the fact that nobody's above anybody. You don't get that air from those guys, and you can, you can spot other people that are doing well. When you're doing well, you can identify who's doing well without, banging their hands on their chests and saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. These people are very laid back, very chill, but trust me, they got the bankroll for the stuff that they're doing. So that was really, really cool hanging out with him. And there's a really dope documentary of him talking about the bike passionately, about the work that he's done to it. Even some of the carbon fiber wheels, that bike did not come with it. It's exclusive to GP bikes, I think, something like that, or at least to certain Superleggeras. He managed to get those wheels from Italy, shipped down here. Of course, you got to get authorized for you to get those wheels, and he actually has it on that Superleggera. Really, really dope. Just so much. I just overall, everybody's just like something else that, you know, I mean, I say this all the time. When the opportunity comes for me to do this full time and just do this, I'm totally going to do it, because you want to do what you really like and enjoy, and you really want to focus on doing that, because I'm telling you, man, there's nothing like it, man. So really, really cool. So big shout out to Fernando. Can't wait to cut your small documentary. I think it's really dope. By the way, the entire time he was kind of walking me through the COTA circuit, I was doing a lot of footage of him, just him talking and being himself. Because every time you start telling people, well, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to, do some content about you, their personality change a little bit. They get camera ready. So during the entire time, I kind of mic'd up a lot of the guys from Motivation. And I mic'd up Fernando as well, and just kind of just had them be normal for the day and just let them talk. And to a certain degree, they kind of forgot they even were wearing any mics, or if there was a camera around, because the way I did it, I just really was immersed with them, ask them regular questions. You would even see some of the guys, people would walk into the shop and, ask if they want to get some parts and stuff. They immediately get off their desk and go and help and look for parts and stuff like that. Just overall, the experience was just crazy. And outside of the race, which I thought was really cool, the more important part of the whole trip was the people in Texas. I have never been called sir so many times my entire life, and being greeted politely by every single person. That's really, really nice. It was very refreshing, and something that I think everyone should experience, especially if you're from New York. We know how it is. It's New York. It's very different, but it was beautiful just hanging out with everyone, and just overall from the hotel, from when I did my coat check, when we got to COTA, from riding in my helmet, it was just super nice. And they didn't even require for you to tip. I pretty much tipped everywhere I went because I wanted to show my appreciation. So it was just like really cool. Even there was this little girl who was taking my gear and stuff like that in my helmet. Granted, you can clearly tell the family's teaching her about work ethic and stuff like that. And she had to carry my bag and my jacket and my helmet. I'm like, holy shit. So I ended up tipping this kid, and she was like mind blown. And she was like, oh, thank you, sir. So it was beautiful. The whole thing was really cool. By the way, hot tip, if you're ever going to MotoGP or any race, or at least in COTA, the golden rule is not to drive a car. It's going to take you hours for you to actually get out of there once the race is done. Ride a motorcycle and do exclusive motorcycle parking. Then again, I could be talking from a privileged part, because, I managed to have parking and kind of be able to get in and out. So it might be a little different, but I'm told it's best to be on a motorcycle. Makes your life a lot easier. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to pull up a couple more comments while in between. We have Chris Key is in the building. What's good, Fastlane D? Let's go, boy. Yeah, man. You see, this guy have the crazy vibe, man. Everywhere he goes, people know who he is. His energy is infectious, and just keep at it, man. You're gonna be the next big thing, 100%, man. 100%. I know you probably heard it already, but for sure. We have Stevio Lex. I told you KTM is where it's at. Yo, I'm telling you that those KTM was really nasty on that road, man. Really, really big time. Let's see what we got here. Chris Key. Love the live chat, man. Keep it up. You motivated me, man. Yeah, man. The goal is for us to motivate one another, for us to grind. There is an opportunity for everyone. We all can win in this game. There's plenty of space for everybody to gain something. You just need to find your own, man, I'm actually glad I spoke to Black Moses when I did this interview. I really felt like after speaking with somebody that's achieved so much, that's been through all of the loops, like the ups and the downs, and I'm sure probably really difficult time because he has a family, he has children, he has to take care of business. It was really nice hearing him saying, hey, man, you've got something. This is what you want. Say it and get it done. I really think that's very invigorating to me, man. So people like that, you want to keep them tight, not just for opportunities. And that's not what I'm saying at all, because that kind of connection or energy or someone being very positive, that can go a long way. And that alone itself, I spent my time going through COTA looking for him just to take a picture with him. I wanted to give him a hug because I'm like, yo, that did a lot for me. Us having that conversation, just talking and encouraging me, that did a lot. And I had to find him just to show him that appreciation. So that was really dope. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, for, Dragon Chi mentioned here, nothing like doing what you love. Absolutely. There's nothing like it, to be honest. There's nothing like it. I mean, Grant, I know there's a big lie, though, that they tell you when you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life. That is 100% lie. When you do what you love, you never stop working. That's the truth, because you just got to keep going. You got to keep rocking. You got to work harder. You got to work better than the next guy. You have to compete with yourself. You really never stop, really. So, you know, granted, it's not as difficult as going to a cubicle, but you do work way more because you never really stop working. Let's see what else we got here. Your time is now. You are a Black Moses certified. Yes, sir. 100%, man. 100, man. Those words, very, very special to me. 5 Up mentioned here. Tell them that you are coming June 18th to the 20th to Detroit area, BMW Southeastern Superbike meetup. Yes, guys, your boy will be traveling a lot more moving forward. There's a lot of events I am going to be attending. Everything's already booked. Booked. My wife would probably kill me. She's like, oh, you know you said book, not book with an ED past tense, blah, blah, blah. Yes. She's a grammar Nazi. Yeah. So yeah, I will be out in the Detroit area, guys, from the 18th to the 20th. So probably Friday to Monday, we'll be riding bikes with 5 Up motorcycles. I'm sure probably Fastlane D might end up being there as well. It's a pretty big event, but most importantly, I am going to get to spend some time with a very good friend of mine, Steve. It's been a hot minute since we linked up. He's been in New York, and he's been busting my balls to come out his way and hang out. But we are going to be doing a lot more road trips. I am expanding the channel from not just from New York, really just going out and do things way out of my comfort zone and just being around people that I love and admire, like 5 Up here. So we will be chilling, having a good time. So very excited for that. Hopefully you guys enjoy those kind of content. And I am still in the market looking for that van so I can load the bikes and really travel around. But for now, I'll just be flying pretty much everywhere. And then hopefully I'll have bikes to ride, but thanks to the grace of God, I have some really good friends who have a lot of bikes. They are willing to just, you know, open up their garage to me while I have bikes to ride. So again, I'm really, really blessed for these opportunities. It's not a very common thing, so don't think I'm not. So thank you so much, Steve. Really appreciate it, man. And very excited for June. It's going to be really dope. And you better show me around. Oh, some cool spots. Let's see what else we got. Let's see here. I have S1000R Mia. Would you do a video summary of all the changes / upgrade made to your bikes? I will do that, actually. I will be doing, I'm not done with the Street Fighter, so I do have exclusive news. I do have carbon fiber wheels. That was a nice little cool surprise for me when I went to Motivation. They have some carbon fiber wheels that's coming for the Street Fighter. That's really cool. That's a nice, I guess, sponsorship deal that's going to go through with them, which is really cool. Very appreciative of that. So I will be doing a walk around of all the bikes and kind of show all of the details. I hate rehashing content. I've done one on the Monster, which is done really well. The Hyper, I haven't done one yet. And the Street Fighter, I'm still building that bike to what I want it to be. So there will be a detailed breakdown of every piece, every component, and then all the links to where you can kind of grab them via Motivation. So that's one thing that's going to stick around. Chris Key mentioned here, do I have any kids? I do not have any children, and not yet, maybe in the future, who knows? But man, having children is a lot of work, and I don't know if I'm ready for something like that as well, because it's just a lot, and I really want to find my path in life. I do have nieces and nephews and god kids and stuff like that, which to be honest, I rather dedicate my time with the success I find or the money I ended up making to probably help them to have a better life. I've always felt to myself, if I can't put my kids in a space better than where I grew up. It's something that's very difficult. I'm kind of going on a tangent here talking about this. I don't want everybody to kind of go too much towards this, but that's the case, man. I'd rather take my money and give it to my niece and nephew for them to have their first BMW right out of college, or help them pay for their tuition for college, and being able to do that for family that I love dearly. So that's the gist of it, man, because having children is a lot of work, and plus I'll be able to, I want to be able to do right, unless, if I can't, I just don't want to have kids that's gonna struggle. I think it's a selfish thing when people have children because they want them, and then they just struggling themselves, and then their children struggling. That's almost like a life of torture. But long story short there. Let's see what I got here. Sazon Moto. I do it all. The cubicle, the recording, and the editing, anything motorcycle related never feels like work. Yeah, man, that's the grind. The grind never stops. You know, you have to pay the bills, right? You have to pay the bills. You still have to do your passion. You still have to do your hobby. So realistically, that's how it should be, really. You should never stop doing what feeds your family before you can go and do your hobby, especially if you have a family you want to take care of. Let's see here. Fastlane D. I'll be in Greece that weekend, but that event is going to be lit. Oh my God, dude, you're going to be in Greece. That's freaking dope. You better get a bike when you're out there and shoot some shit, because I know you always manage to make something happen. Let me see here. Chris Key mentioned, yeah, trust me, man. I guess he's saying he knows. He got 3 kids. Yeah, man, my 3 kids are right behind me. The bikes, my dog. So, yeah. All right, so I will come back once there are more comments and stuff like that. Just wanted to highlight a couple of more as we're going. So, again, this is more a very, like, interactive stream where we kind of just talk with everybody, feel anyone's temperature and stuff like that, see what's going on. See, I did pull this up here. I do a ton of work behind the scene. I said thank you for answering my question. Yeah. Let me see. Some of the key things also I liked with... Oh, another thing that was really cool. I retired my 6D helmet from riding. My last day at being at Texas, I got the entire team at Motivation to sign my helmet, which they didn't want to because they were like, "Oh, you're gonna ruin your helmet," and you know, we're not like a big deal. You shouldn't sign your helmet, blah blah. I got every single person in that team signed my helmet, and I kind of retired the helmet. I'm gonna put it in a glass case, not because some of these people are celebrities or a big deal. It was because it was a special moment for me in time, and I wanted to kind of have something memorable to this event and being out there and just being around great people the entire time. So the owner, the stock guy, every single person, doesn't matter how big their job was or how small their job was, they all signed the helmet, which was so cool. And I've actually had it in my home office now. I didn't even take that helmet out from my home office because I don't want anything to happen to it and all the signatures stay, because I think that's something that's really cool and really dope, to be honest. The other thing, these guys did not let me sleep one bit, man. I walked Coda all day. Right after, went to my hotel, took a shower, and they were like, "All right, man, we'll talk a little bit later." Come to find out, around 8 o'clock at night, they're like, "Yo, they gave me a call." I'm like getting ready to pass out. I'm importing footage. They was like, "What are you up to?" "We're gonna come and get you. Come and get me, pick me up in the truck, go back to the house, open up the garage full of motorcycles, ton of supermotos, Z900, Triumph, you know, Yamahas." It was like, "Yo, pick a bike." And the funny thing is, they tricked me because they had me keep my gear and my helmet in their house and stuff like that. They were like, "Pick a bike. We're gonna go downtown Austin," and we ended up just riding in downtown Austin. And surprisingly, they took me to this event called, give me a second, I'll tell you guys. It's the, holy hell, I think I lost it. No, I didn't. It's the Handmade Motorcycle Show. Really, really cool. So many cool bills, guys, from so many people. I'll just kind of give you guys a quick clip here of a really not just a cool bike, really, just let me see here. I'm just gonna pull this up real quick. Oh, yeah, see this? Yeah, really, really cool. Let's see. Yeah, FCR9 Hyper. I didn't cut that clip. Oh, that freaking sucked, man. Okay, it's all good though. All good. All good. Yeah, it's this event. I actually have footage from the event where it's a bunch of hand-built motorcycles by all walks of life. Some people do them themselves. You get these exclusive pass that you wear. It's like a metal piece for the builders. And then you also get a VIP band and stuff for drinks and stuff like that. We were hanging out there all night, which was really, really dope. They had some taco trucks on the outside, just food. And by the way, so many women out there. Oh my God, you would never think there'd be so many beautiful girls that are into motorcycles, that are part of the build community. Really, really dope. I had such an amazing time. And then we rode back to the hotel, and then I'll just quickly pass out and rinse and repeat for the next day. It was wild, 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 wild. Let's see here what I got. Let's see here. Oh, Chris is asking a pretty good question. He's asking, how is my supermoto? Are you referring to the Ducati Hyper Motard? That bike is totally not a supermoto. It's not a supermoto at all, really. It's a super bike, really. In costume, they call it super hyper motard, but it's not really a hyper motard. I think it's too heavy for that. It's a very fast bike, very torquey. If you're looking to get a supermoto, I'd recommend getting a proper one. Even for myself, initially, I wanted it to be a supermoto, but I've come to the realization it's really that kind of a bike, so I'm gonna keep it. I was gonna sell this bike, and my wife refused to let me sell it, so I'm gonna keep it, and then I will be getting another bike, hopefully either by the end of this season or something like that. Really, it's gonna be a super bike because I kind of need one. I guess I shouldn't say need, really. Kind of want one, I guess. I don't know. But yes, I'll be getting that. But then I will be getting a smaller supermoto bike as well. So that's going to be one of those things that I'm going to be riding through the winter and stuff like that locally in my neighborhood. Hopefully the neighbors don't get too pissed off as I'm doing that, because you know how it is. Your boys are going to be mobbing out here in the street. So really cool. By the way, guys, if you are tuned in, you are watching the stream, make sure you hit the thumbs up. I definitely appreciate it. It's going to help with the algorithm. Oh, I don't know why I said that. Anna's always saying, don't say that. And I totally said that. Yeah, definitely smash that thumbs up. Helps a lot. Let's see what else we have here. Tazamoto mentioned, you are correct, so you need another bike. Yeah, man, I'm actually getting 2 more motorcycles, and that's going to be it. I swear to God, it's going to be it. It's going to be a super bike, and I'm getting a supermoto for the winter so I can ride around and just chill and shoot content when it's a little bit colder. I'll be close to home. I could kind of shoot some stuff, ride for about half an hour, and then go back home. And that way I'm not too cold, because I'm kind of a scaredy cat when it comes to riding a cold. I just don't find it pleasant, you know what I mean? So I just don't do it. Take a sip of this real quick. I'm not being rude. I always have tea when I make the stream, so. Let me see, key. Nah, I want the duck. Yeah, I mean, you can get the Hyper Motard if you want. You can still do pretty much a lot of that stuff, but it's heavier than a regular supermoto, though, for sure. Anybody that buys a bike, you will like it a lot, though. It's a fun bike that's going to get you in a lot of trouble, though. So just keep that in mind. Like Fernanda said, your last bike will be the X Diablo, so we can cruise. If you gift me that bike, that'd be great. Wink, wink. She probably would. She wouldn't say no to that. I only said that because I'm being a jerk. Because if I say that, she will do it. Do not do that. Thank you very much. I'm good. All right. Let me see. The food is delicious. Oh, let's talk about the R3 real quick, guys. Let's talk about the R3. I'm going to answer this question, and then let's talk about the R3. Sazon Moto mentioned, I don't like the cold, nor do I like the rain. It changes my attitude when I ride, and it rains, so I get it. Yeah, man. I do not like those vibes neither, man. It just doesn't feel right. You know, I like to really enjoy the bike, you know, really throttle it out or whatever, or take a corner hard. I know the way that I ride, so I really try not to go out when I know it's not right. So I can kind of get myself in weird situations. So that's just me. All right, let's just talk R7 for a second, guys. I'm just going to play a quick little clip here of the R7. Let me see. I'm going to play a quick little clip here of the R7, and then we can talk about it. I know a lot of people are extremely gung-ho about the R7. I'll give you my original idea about it, and then we can talk. So let's kind of roll this clip real quick here of the R7. By the way, keep in mind this bike is tuned, has a couple of Rizoma parts in it. I don't think it has a quick shifter. It has an SE Project exhaust on it. It definitely sounds really good. It looks the part a lot.
No, this is definitely super tough, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, it definitely looks the part, man.
Your knees for sure. Your neck is a whole other story. Just if you stay like this. It's definitely a Sunday ride bike, in my opinion.
I won't let that run too long because we don't need to do that. Because I wanted to kind of play the clip a little bit so we can kind of start talking about the conversation. So the R7, where do I stand on this bike? I will be doing a long-term review. If you guys are experienced with the R7, which is a wildly popular motorcycle at the moment, a lot of people are buying this bike. And who is it for? Let's start there. You guys know how I do things. I'm not going to come out and tell you a bike is this and that and it's no good. I like to look at things very objectively and understand the reason why they exist, and it's the point of them. So R7, if you're new to riding and you decide, hey man, where I want to go in the spectrum of riding, I want to be a super bike boy, I want to be tucked in, I want to be crunched over and just like pinning it, doing like, you know, SmackDown style races and stuff. That is the bike you want to kind of get started on because it gives you that feel quite a bit. You're really tucked in, okay? Your knees are pretty much in your chest once you're sitting on it. Initially, when I sat in the bike, I was like, oh my God, this is kind of like a little bit uncomfortable. But as I rode it, it wasn't too bad. Where I did start feeling a little bit of cramp was on my neck because you're tucked in and you're looking up. So right behind my neck, it was getting a little crampy. But that's one thing. If you're very passionate about this bike, you really want it, that's not going to bother you because you're going to expect for it to ride a certain way. You're going to expect it to be. But I've sat on other bikes that, even though they're race bikes, they're super bikes, they did not feel as cramped. Like, for example, BMW has great geometry. Ducati has really great geometry. Even though they're super bikes, they didn't feel that way. So that was one thing. Now we get to some of the good stuff. If you guys want to comment, you want to ask questions, you can, because I will be bringing this up. This bike, it wasn't my favorite bike. For the price that it comes at, the RS660 would be the way better buy. It's built better. The fit and finish is better. I personally feel that the R7 is a cash grab by Yamaha. Okay, and I like Yamaha. This is not like a nudge at them or taking shots at them or anything like that. I feel like it's a cash grab. The R6 was a wildly successful and popular motorcycle that people know and love through the motorcycling community. And granted, this is why they actually named this bike the R7. In my personal opinion, if I'm approaching it in that sense, they kind of figure R6, R7. Most noobs, most starter guys are gonna see, oh, R7 to R6. This must be great. It must be fast. The bike is really not fast at all. Okay, triple digits. You're gonna hit about like 110 with this bike. The street triple walks miles on that bike. Sorry, not street. The speed triple walks miles on that bike, okay? will lap it over and over. So street triple, you can get a used one for between $6,000 also, $4,000 to $6,000, $6,500. Buy that bike instead. Guarantee you will enjoy it way more. It's going to be a lot more to it. The R7 didn't feel very powerful to me. It sounded really good. It looks to roll. That's the one thing that Yamaha did very well. We got to talk about that. It looks to roll. It looks like you're a superbike boy. Okay, you sit on it like a superbike boy. It has the grunt, the sound with the SE project. It sounded really good. The inline 3 sounded really nice on there, but it wasn't very powerful to me. Even as a beginner bike, I feel like it wasn't. I don't know. It was not as powerful. Now the other thing, suspension wasn't great on that bike. Stopping power wasn't great on that bike. I couldn't tell you anything that it did extremely well that's a must in that bike. So let's say if you were looking for a track bike, you're starting out, I wouldn't recommend that neither, man. I would say get yourself a 300, a Kawi 300, or what else they have? Another Japanese bike that they have that's really nice too. This quite. Oh, I'm gonna drop. I just dropped some cleaning supplies off my desk. Yeah, there are a lot of other bikes that you can get, but this bike is wildly successful. Knowing what I know on the back end, a lot of third-party parts are being sold for this bike. A lot. Again, they're going off the ethos of the R6. And that's why a lot of people are excited. You know, they're thinking R6, R7, but 100% not the bike. Would I recommend it? No. Could you get something else that's comparable? I'd say get yourself the Aprilia RS660. That bike is the bike you want to buy. Way better on all levels. Let's see, what do we got here? So we have some super chat. We're definitely gonna pop that up real quick here. Ducati Fam Florida. Thank you for the super chat, sir. No comments, man. No nothing. No question. You can always drop a question. See your Joey Calabrese. Damn, that's pretty dope. You got to ride so many different bikes, like you picking candy at a candy store. I wouldn't know how to contain my excitement. In those cases, I would say definitely contain your excitement as much as possible. What I ended up finding out, riding with so many bikes, which sounds really glorious and really fun, it's kind of a pro and con, to be honest. You really never get an opportunity to really gel with one of the bikes and really feel very comfortable because, you know, out of excitement. I mean, granted, if I had a choice, I'd probably ride a couple of bikes, maybe 2-3 bikes, and just really the one that vibe with the most, I'd probably stick with. But for the sake of, you know, being able to make the most out of the trip and riding multiple bikes and being able to produce content and stuff like that, I jump on a bunch of bikes and stuff like that. The KTM Super Dupe is beast. Nasty bike. Really cool. Definitely recommend that bike also. Dang, what else? Yo, these guys are sick with the wheelies, by the way. The motivation guys, they are nasty with it, man. Oh my god, they're like ripping triple-digit wheelies down the streets, in the Austin streets. But also, I don't think there's a chase law in Texas, so I don't think the cops will chase you or anything like that. So that's one of the things. But it was really cool. It was not even the fact that I had access to all the. It's not the fact that I rode all the bikes and I was able to pick them. I think it was more cool the fact that I was able to go somewhere and everybody just had access to me. They opened up triple garages and so many bikes. And we're not talking about bullshit bikes. We're talking about bikes ranging from any. I think the cheapest bike I rode was probably, was it I guess maybe the R7 would be the cheapest bike. Outside of that, everything ranged from like, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 bikes. Some bikes, the Super Leggera was like $100,000 plus, which I didn't ride it. I just think there's so much history with that bike, you know, with Tom Cruise being the owner and this guy building on it, and the fact that he had parts from Italy sent. He had actual MotoGP rear sets on this bike. Granted, I did videos of it. I stayed as far away from the bike as possible. Just how it is really. And the thing is, it's not because that I couldn't ride it. Everybody felt very comfortable. It was like, yeah, man, you could do whatever. It's all good. But very, very cool. Let's see what we got here. We have Dragon Chi. You mentioned you would go over the Ninja 6R over the Aprilia. That Aprilia 660, man. That, you know what the thing is with the Aprilia 660? That bike is built very premium, and all of the features that they give you in that Aprilia, for that, you're talking about $2,200 more, $2,500 more, you'll have a way better bike compared to all the other bikes that are in that field. And I think you have a lot more power. That bike, even if you've grown a little bit, you won't get tired of it. You won't need to get rid of it. You won't need to get something else. So I think that Aprilia bike is the top contender in that space, and I wouldn't give anything else. If you're getting something for the track, I'd definitely say get yourself a Ninja, something like that. Because if you dump it, it's not a problem. The Aprilia, you might have to wait for parts or something like that, depending on where you are. Ducati fam, Florida. Hey, I got a question. Are you planning on getting another bike? And if so, what the bike is? Yeah, I am getting 2 other bikes, man. 2 bikes. One is going to be a supermoto for locally, and then the other one's going to be a super bike, which I will trailer with another one of my bikes when I'm traveling through the U.S., which that's one of the things that we will be doing on the channel. So stick around for that. Let's see here. I have Dragon Chi again here. Don't get me wrong, the Aprilia RS660 is a great looking and performing bike, but maybe I'm just into the Kawasaki over the Aprilia. Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. I encountered this issue too. The BMW S1000R, really, really dope bike. Even in Fast Lane D's latest video, which he rode that bike, and he liked it. I like that bike a lot as well too. Really cool bike, very comfortable to ride, even though it's a super bike. It's tough after you're reading a KTM Super Duke or something like that, or Ducati, or Aprilia 1100 Factory, or Yamaha R1M or something like that. Those bikes have these personalities that sound very distinct and have this uniqueness about them. And I'm not knocking like a Suzuki, Kawasaki, or anything like that. All those bikes are great. They're just as fast. But the thing is, these bikes have these unique characteristics. And this is why the cross-plane engine on the R1 is so special. That bike gives the rider an experience, even if you might not want an Italian bike or European bike. It's known as a muscle cruiser, like a muscle bike. It has that grunt, it has that sound and that uniqueness. When you jump on a Ducati, you have that chatter, the way the firing order, it sounds really unique when the bike just runs. The Aprilia RSV 411, that bike sounds like a dragon, like on idle. And to be honest, I love Ducati, and I always say that. Aprilia, I think, sounds better than Ducati. I might burn in hell for saying that, but on idle, it sounds good. Because one thing the Street Fighter and the Panigale V4S does, they mimic the L-Twin sound. They give you that feel down low. But when you're running the Street Fighter and the Panigale V4S, when those bikes are running, they're more reminiscent of MotoGP bikes. They are very, like if you go to a MotoGP race and you listen to those bikes, they sound, that's the sound they're mimicking. But since they know people that likes Ducati like the L-Twin sound in the street, they mimic that sound doing low RPMs. When you're out and about, your bike sounds like that. When you start cranking up, you're going up the RPM range, those bikes sounds like MotoGP bikes. Which it took me a little bit to wrap my head around that sound, because I'm like, it sounds a little thinner, but that's how they sound when you're in the GP bikes. So that's a very interesting, very unique take. And that's where I think BMW is struggling. The S1000RR, beautiful bike, fit and finish is awesome, sounds good, it's fast. It doesn't have anything that makes it stand out from like a Kawasaki or one of the other bikes, one of the other Japanese bikes. It's fast, it's perfect, it's great. But again, when you pull in with that Aprilia, you pull in with that Ducati, it has a unique experience. And I think that's where they get a lot of people. And that's not to knock anybody or anything like that, but that's the thing. And I think once you get into one of those spaces, when anybody that's purchased a KTM or even a Triumph has that feeling too. Bzz, 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 like that triple on the in the whistle. Oh my God, it's a unique experience. And no matter if another bike is faster than yours, that feeling you get when you're on that bike, nothing replicates it. Whether you jump onto KTM, Triumph, Ducati, Aprilia, or R1M with the crossplane, that's why once people jump into those bikes, it's very hard for you to see them on something else because they got you with that sound, the personality. It's tough. But yeah, that's just me. That's just my thought on it here. Let's see what I got here. I think I'm getting old in age. I'm just going to add a cruiser to my stable. Already eyeing a Suzuki M109R. Yeah, what's his name? Brandon has a M109R. He loves that bike as well. Seems to be very reliable, easy to work on as well. Yeah, man. I mean, for me, I have to have a super bike. Even if I do end up having a cruiser, I have to have a super bike in my garage. I think anybody that's into motorcycles and you're able to have a couple of bikes, if it's something that's in your realm, certain bikes you have to have. Even if it's a bike that you enjoy every now and then, you got to have it. And this is why I never bought a super bike yet. Well, this is why I haven't bought a super bike yet, because I don't feel like they're everyday bikes because they're very strenuous to the body. So it's something that, one of those things like I open my garage, I could just grab this bike for a couple of hours, I'll chill with it. But for me, having the Street Fighter and the Monster, I could ride those bikes all day, and I don't feel guilty having spent money on those bikes I wouldn't feel guilty now if I buy a super bike where I can't ride it all the time, or I don't feel like it, because now I'm not looking at it for dollar for value kind of thing. Let's see what we got here. Chris Key, that's crazy. MotoGP rear sets. Yeah. Actual MotoGP rear set he has on those, and they are nothing like some of those rear sets that we have or you buy. They are wild crazy, man. I have some shots of them when the videos come out. You'll be able to take a look. They are nothing like what we have. Nothing on those MotoGP bikes are like what we have. These bikes are $1 million plus motorcycles. They're custom made. And another thing that's really dope about the GP bikes, after every race, these bikes are taken apart to the nuts and bolts to be clean every race, to make sure everything is perfect. And they do it at a record pace. Everything was mind-blowing about this experience, just seeing some of this stuff. They have a section in the back of the paddocks where they're like compression blowing everything, the fairings, and polishing everything. These bikes are just like mint every single ride. It's just mind-boggling. Let's see what we got here. Besides a motor mention. A great down-to-earth YouTuber that I would like to see on your channel is Madlit SK1. Yeah, who is also in New York area. He lets people ride and sit on his bike. I have spoken to Madlit, so if you definitely want to see him on the stream, definitely drop him a link to the stream, what we do. Also, tell him hit me up. I have extended the courtesy to him to come through because he is on the come up, and I thought it'd be a great opportunity to kind of just highlight him a little bit. I like what he's doing. I like his vibes, and I like the fact that he wants to bring people together. He's really big into people, and I share similar sentiment. So definitely drop him a DM on Instagram. He's pretty active. Let him know. We'll bring him on and we'll definitely have a conversation. Hopefully we can get some dual vlogs going, or at least some link up going. He rides a lot of the roads that I ride, a lot of the same spot that I go to. So it's a matter of time that we bump heads through New York and do something special. I'm game. Just shoot him a DM, let him know. Maybe incentivize a little bit. Joe Calabrese, any chance of 3 bike startup? If it's too late by you, maybe next time. What time is it my way here? It is Easter. People are out. Two of my keys are one of my keys are inside in my home office. I haven't started the shit. I'm gonna smell like gas. Yeah, maybe I think I'll probably try. Definitely do it. The Monster is super low on gas though, I think. But yeah, give me a second here. Oh yeah, we're running on an hour and a half, so I won't keep you guys too long. So definitely, if you have any comments, you want to drop any questions, throw them up now. Ducati FM, Florida. I'll be getting another bike soon. Get it narrowed down to 3. BMW S1000R, Ducati Panigale V2. Don't get a V2, V4. And a Honda CBR 1000RR SP Fireblade 2022 30th Anniversary Edition. That Fireblade would be pretty cool. Very unique. Not a lot of people have it. It's kind of hard to buy a superbike at the moment, in my opinion, only because Ducati's winning a lot of races. Ducati's producing some really high-end bikes, and they are really reliable to what is usually known by Ducati. It's hard to kind of justify spending the money and getting some other bikes unless you're kind of somewhat in the budget. The one thing I like with BMW S1000R is the fact that they are more price friendly than the Ducatis and the Aprilias. You can get a package that's pretty comparable to those bikes. Granted, you're not going to get that special personality, but you'll get a lot of the bells and the whistles, and you're going to get the speed. I do also feel like that BMW S1000RR, it's going to take a little bit of money to get it to be really fast like the other bikes, but that's completely up to you. So you're going to have to do a lot of upgrades and mods, but that bike could be something very special if you want to get it. I wouldn't say get a V2. That's a 959. It's an 899. If you're going to get one, man, just get a V4. That bike runs cooler. The rear cylinders get to be turned off when you're at stop and go traffic. The V2 is probably going to run a little bit hotter. It's a reliable engine, but I think moving forward, man, if somebody's buying a Ducati, if you can, just get the new bikes. Let's see what we got here. Dragon Chat, I believe I'm a Zook Nation boy, so it's for Suzuki. Since I own and starting with my Suzuki, the TL1000R, back when I was stationed in Virginia. And that's how it goes, guys. Most people, once you start on a bike or you get to know a brand and you're passionate about that brand, it's very difficult. This is why a lot of brands, they fight early on to get the beginner rider. Whether you jump into Yamaha, you see a lot of people that rides the Yamaha R3s. They eventually get a MT-09 or an R1 or an FZ10. Once you're part of that family, you start building rapport with a brand. It is extremely difficult for another brand to kind of reel you in. So it's very important they attract you very early on in the game. Let's see what I got here. I agree with having to have a super. Okay, sorry. I agree with having to have a super bike, but my body has been yelling for some time to ease my pain. Yeah, I mean, what you could do, you could always keep your super bike and then just add it complimentary, and then every now and then you take it out. Really, I mean, I think it's like that for anyone, whether you're young or you're not young or you're a little bit older. I think all of the super bikes tend to strain, whether it's your wrist, your neck, or your back, or your knees, or the crunched up position, really. I don't think it's like a getting old thing. I think it's just really, because for example, on the GP bikes, on the MotoGP race, I watched, if you look at some of their past, not past, but like right after talking, the 2 winners and stuff like that, oh, sorry, the 3 winners and then the runner-up, they all spoke about how fatigued they were getting. I think one of the Ducati riders was mentioning how he was losing feel on his leg. After a while, for him shifting, he had to kind of vibrate his leg when he was on the straight just to make sure he gets feel. He was getting pins and needles. So it's not just like an older rider thing. I think it's just these bikes are designed for really fast riding in bursts, in short bursts. The GP race was 20 laps, and by the time they were done, most of the professional riders were like, oh yeah, you know, I was feeling this, I was feeling that. After when they did the press briefing and they were talking, they all, you know, encountered these same issues that other people talk about. Again, they're riding for a race, 20 laps. You know, some people buying these to ride all day. Of course, it's going to be somewhat uncomfortable. So I don't think it's like a unique thing to a specific group of people. Just move here. Let's see here. Dragon Cheese dropping a lot of comments, so we'll definitely populate that because I'm also a BMW enthusiast. I think I'm wanting to get another BMW like the new BMW F900R. I think there's a lot of great bikes to ride, really, and I think as people mature, what tends to happen is when you're putting your money out, you have to look at the whole spectrum, really. Am I spending a lot of money just to have a flex bike? Or do I want something that's useful that I can use every day? I mean, for me, I got bikes I can use every day. I think I've earned to have something where I can, you know, just enjoy every now and then and not have to worry about it. Again, everybody's situation is different. I'm fortunate enough to kind of be able to do that. But, you know, again, you know, that's why I left it for last, you know, because it would bother me if I bought a bike that I can't enjoy every day if I wanted to. So, let's see here. R9T would be really cool. I've actually ridden that bike. It's really nice. I would definitely recommend you going for a test ride on the Triumph Speed Triple or Street Triple. Triumph is making some great bikes. They are super underrated. The entry price points are really nice, and they're totally underrated. I've came close to buying a Triumph before. I went to a dealer. I didn't have a great experience. They looked at me like I was a broke boy or whatever. But then again, I don't go to dealers like, you know, banging, you know, my hand on my chest saying I'm this, I'm that. I usually go pretty low key, very normal, don't say anything. And I just didn't like my interaction too much. And that kind of, you know, skewed me away from buying that Triumph. But maybe in the future we can revisit that possibly. Definitely keeping the Noriko, my super bike. She'll never leave my side. Yeah, man, I'd say keep your bike, really. You know, at this point in my life, I'm really happy I'm able to kind of keep my bike. I don't have to buy and sell and kind of rinse and repeat. And I bought the bikes that I really like and love. And now some of the bikes I'll be buying moving forward might be for content and stuff like that. Really more of an investment for my channel. But I did what I wanted for myself, hence why I never bought bikes for other people or for other reasons. So I was never one of those people. I heard the Aprilia RS660 has great rider ergonomics versus the other race bikes. Yes, sir. I can attest to that. That bike is a really, really nice find. The price point for it is really nice as well. I would highly recommend that bike for sure. Let's see here. See, Jerry Calabrese. Great being able to join the stream. Have a great night, Mike, and everyone. Guys, we will definitely bring some people on, and I am definitely going to call it a night. Do I have the Street Fighter keys here? I don't think I have the Street Fighter keys. I have the Hyper, I have the Monster, but I don't have the Street Fighter keys. Yeah, no Street Fighter keys. I'll definitely light up the Hyper though, real quick. Let's see. Oh, there's a couple more coming in. Let me just see here. Triumph Speed Twin also. That's, yep, a lot of really good bikes. Again, I think Triumph is super underrated right now, but they've got some really, really dope bikes. They are really focused on like the hipster crowd and stuff, but they've got some really dope bikes. Granted, if you buy their bikes, you're not going to be the hottest kid in town because it's just like, that's not the wave right now, but they do have great bikes. Sazomoto, so I think he wrote that. How much was the bike directly to your left? Was that the same bike as the one in the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey? The one in that movie with Jim Carrey was an older model. This is a newer model. The Hyper motards usually go around 18,000, probably roughly 20 right now. If you go buy one, you're probably going to spend around 19,000 maybe. Let's see what we got here. S1000R Mia. Thoughts on the MV Agusta? I had a Brutale 800 back then. My wife actually bought me that bike. Really, really dope, a red one. I really loved them. I ended up getting rid of that bike because the company wasn't doing well. It was one of those really grim time for MV Agusta. But I think they have a very unique, very Italian swag about them. They're a really dope bike. My man 5up actually has a Brutale in his stable. Hopefully I get to ride that in June. So I'll probably do a video on it and tell you guys what I think. But that bike looks sick as hell. Let's see here. 5up mentioned he loves the R9T. He would know. He has pretty much. By the way, he has every single bike you could think of, guys. I'm exaggerating, but he has a lot. Maybe 20, 25 bikes, probably plus. Let me see here. My wife mentioned the Street Fighter keys are inside. Yeah, they're definitely inside. Maybe I'll just fire it up. If you guys want to hear the Street Fighter, I'll just have my wife bring it out, or I'll run inside and go get it. Last time I rode the bike, I put it in my home office, and I never brought it back to the garage, which I have a little box to put my keys in, but I'm so stupid sometimes, and I do that. Let's see here. Jack in a Box. Yeah, I saw this. I saw his on my easy video. Sorry, I'm not following too much on your comment. Let me see here. Oh, you guys are dropping a lot of comments as I'm bouncing. I'm starting to feel guilty about leaving. Okay, everybody's saying good night, so definitely we'll wrap it up. Let me just fire that bike up for you guys for a second. Give me a second. I'll fire up. You know what? I'll fire up the Hyper. Hyper is always very fun anyway. One sec. Let's see here. Pull that up. And I'm gonna smell like gas, you bastards. By the way, this is a testament to actually. This is actually a testament only because all of the bikes have been unplugged for probably 2 months now since the weather got nice. I've been riding them low key. So let's see if they start up without with them not being on charger. I'll stand in the front because I don't want to get exhaust fumes on me. I'll try the Monster. The Monster I've been on for forever, so let's see. If the Monster run, by the way, I'm gonna be super shocked because no gas too. That's wild. I'm really shocked that started. Monster always, I actually, I actually have a tune on the Monster. That one always shoots fire in the back for sure, 100%. All right, give me a second, and let me run in, and I'll get the Street Fighter key, and then I'll start that up for you guys real quick, and then we'll just wrap up. All right, so hang tight. I'll probably just play a clip here. That way, there's something going on as I'm gone.
This is definitely super tough. I think your knees for sure. Your neck is a whole other story. Just stay like this.
Yo, shout out to my wife for always being on point. She quickly already had the keys for me by the garage door the minute I opened it. So we'll open up the Street Fighter real quick. Let's see if it starts because I haven't plugged that in either. I love this motorcycle, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, that's all three of the babies. Yeah, man. I'm actually surprised they haven't been plugged for a while because I've been I had them unplugged since the weather got really nice maybe a month ago. So, but I'm actually really shocked the Monster just started right up too. So, let's see here. Just gonna wrap up, say goodnight, guys. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, this is gonna be a regular thing every Sunday. Interviews, exclusive behind the scene information with some really cool people. Again, this one took a whole lot tonight because I'm still pretty tired from the entire event and stuff like that. And I have so much footage to go through. So I appreciate everyone coming through, chiming in. Again, if there are people that you want to see on the stream, you want to have them have a conversation, drop them a DM, send them a link, let them know because I've reached out to a lot of people and stuff. So it's just a matter of waiting for everybody. So I'll just kind of go through and we'll make something happen. Oh yeah, 5UP does have a Superleggera, guys. I will not ride that bike. I probably will not even breathe on it when I see him in June. But I will take photos and fanboy on it like a mother. But yeah, let's see what we got here. Let me see here. There's quite a few people, guys. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Again, happy Easter. Really appreciate everyone coming through, showing love. I am starting to breathe a little bit of exhaust here, and my dog is barking. Open the window. Yeah. I had the door open. Two-wheeler. Yeah, man, we'll have you on, dude. I will definitely have as many people on as possible. You don't have to be a big channel, but guys, thank you all for tuning in. If you guys are looking for parts, you want to support the channel, you want to support basically the stream, all links of all the stuff that I have on my bikes, they're going to be in the description. You could always shop with those links. It helps out. Also, it helps motivation. And of course, you know, project like me going to MotoGP, all those things kind of coincide. So really appreciate everything, guys. Always appreciate everybody tuning in. I'll catch you next Sunday. It's going to be really dope. Very exciting. So have a good night, guys. Peace.